And welcome to day 13, the final day of our 13 days of Halloween series. I cannot believe it is the last day. I have had so much fun. So thank you so much, Rosa and Robyn, for letting me participate in this series with you. It's been a blast, and I love Halloween, so this has been just pure joy getting to create all of these Halloween projects. And I hope everyone has enjoyed the series, and I greatly appreciate all of your comments. I just have not had a chance to answer all of them, but I have read them all, and I really appreciate it. So make sure that you get entered into our giveaway if you haven't. You need to be a subscriber and leave a comment daily on each of our videos. So if you haven't had a chance to do that, make sure you do so. Our winners will be announced October the 16th, and I will be giving away the coffin I created. I have created this 3D countdown to Halloween bat. I bought him through the Silhouette store, so I did cut him out with my Silhouette this time, and I created him for my grandson. This was a little tricky SVG to put together, but I did do a tutorial. If you have any questions, just let me know, and I will leave a link to where you can purchase the bat. So I've used some decorative paper. This is some old Can Company paper I've had in my stash forever. I love his little eyes and his candy corn teeth. I'll bring them in close so you can see. And the paper had a little bit of glitter on it. So then when I did the wings, I added some orange glitter to go with the decorative paper. Put some green inside of his ears to go with the green numbers. And then when you turn him around, they have holes where you can push the block out. And they are snug, but they do come out. And then you have your different numbers on the block, so you can do your countdown to Halloween. And I did put 13 since we are on our day 13. And his feet are just multiple layers of 110-pound cardstock. And just spin them around here so you can see the back. So this is the one I created first for my grandson. And then this is the one, I did him a little bit darker colors, that I created this one using the tutorial. So I've just used some gray cardstock, the black feet, spiderweb decorative paper there. Of course, his candy corn teeth we can't do without, and some spiderweb and spider paper and some black glitter. So he is the guy that we'll put together in the tutorial. So if you want to see how to put him together, just stay tuned. Okay, so I have, these are the side pieces. You can see that. There's a left and a right. And this is the back piece, and this is the top. So what we do to get started is, let's go ahead and, so this will be my left, and this one will be my right. And you can see how this goes in there like so. So what we're going to do is, we're going to glue our flaps. We'll do the large one in the middle first. That way we'll make sure everything lines up. And there are perforations. And you want to bend at all of your perforations and ink your edges. I did miss that one there, but I can go back and do that later. So I just want these, all these creases to match up, like right here and right there. So just going to, I like to lay it down even to make sure the seams are lined up, and that looks really good. It's like if you get that middle one on well, it makes it easier to do the one above and below it. So once again, I'm just lining this up, and I'm going to lay it down and run my finger along, and we're starting to get, it's starting to curve a little bit. We'll glue the top piece, and want to line that up. That looks pretty good. Now we will do the other side. If you use, solid core paper, you won't have to really worry about inking your edges as much. So let's see. We will line this up once again. Whoops. Didn't have a hold of it. And I'm lining those perforation marks up as well. And make sure not to cross over when you're putting your tab. Don't go past this score mark. Okay, and that's works really well. And art glitter glue is the biggest helper when you're putting together 3D projects, and it doesn't have a lot of water, or it seems like it doesn't have a lot of water in it, that your paper doesn't wrinkle as well. I'm just going to do the top piece. I like to squeeze it really hard with my fingers to make sure it's going to grab. And then we'll come back down here and do this flap, or tab I should say. And we'll just line it up there. So we'll do the same thing to the other side, and it's just this tab right here. So now we have this part. You can see it's starting to take shape. And then let's go ahead and do the slits that have the ears, that square. We'll just kind of fold it back and put some glue on this tab and this tab right here. Just like so, and then fold this. Oh, missed that little end. Now we'll do this side of the ears. And there's a little slit that lines up with the hole so the bat ear will go in, because it has little tabs and fits down in. So I'm just lining that side up. And then we'll take that one and put it underneath. Make sure the little slit lines up with the hole where the bat ear will go. This is the front of the bat, and we are going to fold this bottom piece, and I went ahead and folded that as well, and I inked my edges, and we're just going to fit the bottom piece into the back and the sides of the bat. Put glue on this large tab in the back. And then I'm going to line this back piece up with it. Make sure, once again, not to go over the score line. See, it fits like that. So now I'm going to do this folded. I'll do the side pieces. I'm trying to fold it back so you can see where I'm putting the glue. Putting the glue right there on that tab. And I think I'm going to go ahead and do this one as well. And I'm just going to lift this piece up and wrap that around. And then I'm taking my fingers and pushing down to make sure we have it adheres fairly well. And we're going to glue the two side tabs. And bring it around what's underneath, and then I'm just running my finger along the seams. And this is the cubby box that holds the blocks, and this is the reinforcer piece for it. And I did mark these two slits with my marker so you could see them, and that's where we can make sure we get our reinforcer piece in the center. So all we're going to do for this is we're going to fold so we get all of our tabs scored along the bottom and the top, and we're just going to put glue, whoops, on this tab. It's the tab There you can see the holes in the solid top. We're just going to line those up. We'll do the other side. So, taking shape with our box for the blocks. Now we will take our reinforcer piece, and I'm going to put glue. I've got it folded over in the center. I'm going to put glue in the middle of it. That just helps make it stronger. And I'm going to make sure I line up these top tabs. I folded them down. Put some glue on the top and some glue in the back. But do not put glue on the bottom tabs yet. Just the back and the top. So now I'm going to line this up with the black score line that I made. That way your blocks will go in and be centered as well. Bring the body of the bat back over. I'm going to fold the front back, and what we're going to do is there's slits in the bottom, and these tabs will fit through the slits in the bottom of the bat. It's kind of hard to show this and get it to go in. It's a little tricky. Got one. I want to go ahead and glue it just so it won't slide back out. There's the second one, and the third one's trying to come through. It's like the slit's not quite big enough almost. There we go. I got a hold of it. I was able to pull it through, and it seems like it does better if you pull it, the tab, bend it the opposite of what you think it's going to be, where it's going backwards. Then I'm just pushing to make sure the tabs come all the way through. And then you can reach, maybe trying to reach in there to push down so the tabs adhere really well. And then we've got tabs on the side we need to get through. Okay. I'm just pulling ever so gently just to make sure it comes all the way through, so our box on the inside will be nice and square. Okay, one more. Okay. And I'm kind of pushing down so the hole is a little bit bigger, and it will, if I can just get it started where I can get a hold of it, then I can pull it through. Okay, and we can start putting the front of the bat. So these pieces will come up and around, and we're going to glue those to the bat. Starting to take shape. I'm going to glue this large one down first. Just trying to run my fingers along to get any air pockets or bubbles out. We'll do the side pieces on the cubby box, and we'll do the other side. Now we can glue the sides to the front. So we'll just work our way around. Do this side first. Get these bottoms adhered. Sides. We'll do, now I'm gluing the tabs in front of where the bat ears go, where those slits are. And the art glitter glue does dry clear, so you won't see it once it's dry, which is very nice. We'll go to the other side and glue this tab, and this is where I'm gluing, is where the wings go here, and then these are just so we're able to get our fingers in and work on putting the bat together. So we're at the top on the other side where the bat ears will go eventually, right there in the slits. I'm just showing you these so that way you can kind of tell where I'm at. Okay, I better go ahead and put some glue here. I may not leave myself enough room. So I'm putting glue on the top tab between the bat ears as well so I can close it up. And so I'm just running my fingers along. Like I said, any place that the glue is showing, I'll just kind of run my finger along, but the art glitter glue does dry clear. So now we need this piece, which goes inside the bat, and it's the reinforcer. And they want us to put this through the front and let it fall on top of our block holder, cubby holder, I think is what they call it. And you can reach your fingers around on the sides to get it positioned where it needs to be. And it's really hard to see, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to flip it up, and I'm going to put glue all over the top of the cubby box. I'm just reaching my glue bottle in, get my piece, and I'm going to put glue on my tabs as well. This is a very tricky piece, but it really does make it so much more stable. And then I'm going to flip it over, hold this up to the back, and glue those tabs. And we'll reach over, and I'm going to turn it and get the other tab on the side. Okay. So now we can just let it fall down in place. And I'm just going to hold the bottom and rub it together. Or 4 tabs, 2 in the back and 1 in each side. And that is resting on top of this piece right here, and that's where I put all the glue. I'm just wanting to run my fingers on the inside and make sure it's adhered really well. Okay, so that's where we're at now. We've got our body completely done. So we'll set this aside and we'll get our ear pieces. And they look like this. There's 2 of these and 2 of these. And there is perforation lines in the black. It's just hard to see. So what I'm going to do is I am going to put some glue, clean my end off, put some glue in the center perforation and put it in the middle. So I'm just going to line it up like there, run my fingers along, and then it folds properly, so then I will glue the sides. Brought back in, and we are going to attach his ears. Go ahead. And you want the larger tab to go in the bottom part and the smaller tab like that. And what we will do is I'm going to reach in and put glue on those tabs, and I'm going to fold the tabs so when I put the ears in, I pulled them towards the front and put the glue on the front and then held it in place like that. That way it pulls your ear in. Okay, and I'm going to do the other ear. I'll be right back. Okay, so now we have both ears attached. And now we will work, let's set this aside, and we will work on our wings. And there are perforations in the wings. I just need to kind of fold them and you can see them. We're going to glue this portion of the wing. I'm just going to fold it and my glue. I'm just going to make sure, fold that over, make sure everything lines up. Okay, and now we'll bring in our glitter piece and glue it on. Okay, so that is our first wing, and I'm going to do the same thing to the other wing. So now I've got both wings done, and we're just going to put them through the slits. So I got my other wing on, and I did tear my paper a little bit right there when I was reaching through, but don't worry if you did tear it a little bit or it gets wrinkled. There's a cover piece that goes over the entire front, so don't worry about that if that happened to you as well. So I'm just going to set this aside and going to get our feet out. And the feet, you will need to cut out several layers, and I'm going to glue all of these layers together because what they want us to do is put a washer in the middle of each of the circles, and that way it will weight the back down so it will sit. So I'm going to just glue all of these pieces together, and I did cut these out of 110-pound cardstock. Do the same thing to all of these, and I think I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I have 7, and I'm just going to glue them all together, and I'll be back. So I have all of these glued together, and now I'm going to take the solid piece and glue it to the bottom. We're going to take our washers and put a little bit of art glitter glue and just drop it in the middle. You just want to make sure you've put enough layers that your washer is not sticking up above the paper. You want it to sit down in, and like I said, it just gives it some weight so it holds it. My husband had these, so I stole them off of him. So that's our feet. So now we can attach these to the bottom of our bat. My light went off, so I'm just always like to line and make sure it's how I want it. So I'm just going to put glue. I'm going to run my fingers on the inside where I'm just reaching in where the blocks go, and take this and just be ever so careful. I don't want to hit the, go through. I just want to make sure it has a good adhesion. So I'm just running. Be careful, don't push too hard or you'll go through the back or the side of the bat. Okay, so his feet look pretty good. And now we can put the front panel on. Actually, let's do his face first. Almost forgot. So I'm going to take his eyes. There's the shadow piece and then the whites, and that's how they go. So we're just going to put glue on the whites of the eyes. Corn teeth. I need my tweezers for this. So I'm just going to put some glue. And I had a friend that showed me a trick that when you're putting your glue on your little pieces, to stab it on the back of your hand and then put it down, and you don't have as much glue come oozing out, and it really does work. And we'll do the same with the little whites. And there's his smile. And then there, I cut out pink for his mouth. We'll put some glue on it and I'm going to go ahead and glue his cheeks. Okay, now we'll put the eyes on. Okay, and so now this piece will go on the front, so you're not going to see where I crinkled my paper. I think he looks really cute with his spooky wings. I'm going to start with, look, this is the block. I'm going to put glue on these 2 tabs first. Okay, so there we go. And just fold that over. Make sure it's not going past the tabs. You want to make sure it fits in your cubby with your, you know, for your numbers. Side, and put some glue on this tab. Just hold it together so I can run the bone folder over it to get, make sure it's a good seal. There we go. It's lined up now. I've got showing you where the hole is so you can see where I'm at. And then there's 3 tabs on this piece, so it will close. Put glue on each side here. Just fold it in. Make sure it's lined up. Make sure it's nice and straight. Okay, that's going to line up perfectly. And I almost forgot to put our reinforcer in. So it's just going to fit in like this, and it just gives stability to the block. So I've got all the tabs folded over, and it's got perforation in the middle. I didn't ink my edges because you won't see it. So I'm just going to put glue down the middle of this and fold it over and crease it real well, and then fold these tabs back. And we're just going to put glue all 3 sides. Okay. And let's see, let me do it this way. There. And this doesn't have to be perfectly centered. And then I'm just going to take my bone folder and I'm running it on each side of that seam and then along the back to make sure it's good and secure and the glue is even. Okay, and then what we will do is we'll fold the top 3 tabs and we will put some glue on these. Fold that over and make sure it's all lined up. You can reach in the holes here as well and push them down. And of course, there would be a decorative piece cover up the hole, but I just, like I said, I lost the footage, so I wanted to show you how to put the block together with the reinforcer piece. We have some pieces left over that we need to cover up the back of the bat. And so I'm just going to glue this and attach it to the back. And then we have 2 pieces to put on the side. And they are angled, so you want to make sure you're putting them on the correct side. Okay. Just making sure it grabs. And then this one goes on this side. I do have to flip it around. Okay, so that one goes there. I'm going to put that and I'll be back. Came out really cute, and I hope you enjoyed the tutorial. And if you have any questions, just let me know. Thank you.